One of the greatest things about Pot Limit Omaha is that you never have to fold a button, and then you never have to fold to a 3-bet. In this hand, we're going to see one of the best PLO players in the world, Ben Sulsky, aka Sauce123, take battle against amateur Pot Limit Omaha player Daniel Negreanu, while Daniel's laying down on a damn bed. This hand takes place at 100 to 200 Pot Limit Omaha in an 8-game mixed table, and I believe Daniel is streaming this on Twitch for all the fans out there to go ahead and see. Let's take a look at the hand. So they're going to start this hand off pretty deep stack. Daniel's got about $80,000, Sauce has about $35,000, and Chow Ren has about $25,000 in the big blind. So Daniel's going to raise it up with 9-7-3-5. He exclaims, I don't like folding, I'm not here to fold. I agree. I'm never folding a button. 9-7-3-5. Some people might look at this hand and say, that hand's shit. I say, baby, let's play. Let's do it. He goes ahead, he makes a raise. Now Sauce is in the small blind. He's got a questionable hand. Now I gotta be honest with you. When you watch this hand, if Sauce's name was like Fun Player Fred or Action Andy, we might have a very different take on this hand. But because it's Sauce, we're gonna try to find some rhyme or reason behind this play that he does in this hand. So he goes ahead and calls with Queen 5, 9-9 with 3 clubs. Chow Ren goes ahead and 3-bets the big blind. Daniel, obviously, we never fold the 3-bets around here at PLOker Hands. He goes ahead and calls, and Sauce decides to overcall too. In this spot, I don't know what, whatever, fuck it, man. Sauce doing it, right? It's gotta be good. Let's go to the flop, let's see what happens. So the flop comes down, 5-4-3. Daniel flops, top and bottom pair. Sauce has top pair, 2 backdoor quad draws, 1 backdoor club draw. Not a very good hand for Sauce. Sauce decides, hey, we're gonna bet here. He bets $3,300 into $7,100. Daniel's in this spot. He's got a very easy call. He's got top and bottom pair. He can make a full house. He can potentially bluff on a 4. He's got the backdoor weak diamond draw. He also blocks 6-7, so he can make a straight on any 6. Sauce in this spot, like I said, I'm just gonna try to imagine like what he's thinking here. So I guess he's thinking in this spot, 3-4-5. Chow Ren 3-bet from the big blind. He's going to have a lot of higher cards, over pairs, hands like that. Might not be 3-betting as many rundown type hands. So in this spot, he's going to think that Chow Ren, most likely being stuck in the middle there, is just going to go ahead and fold. He's not really going to be overcalling with some of those maybe double backdoor type hands. He also probably thinks that Daniel Negreanu, not a very, doesn't play too much Pot Limit Omaha. This is also an 8-game, so Daniel might not want to get too out of line during the Pot Limit Omaha sections of the time. Daniel probably thinks he's got an edge against these other players in some of these other games. So in a spot like this, I guess maybe Sauce is thinking that. He just thinks that Chow Ren's not going to fight back in this spot. Daniel's only really going to put more money in if he's got a really strong hand. But I just think in a spot like this, Daniel's going to have so many hands to be able to continue with that have a pair plus a 6. Or even some pair plus 2s, 2 pair hands. He's obviously going to have some 6-7 as well. And in our hand with Sauce, we don't have any blockers. But so, yeah, I don't know. He bets, Daniel calls. Let's see a turn. Turn comes down, it's a jack of diamonds. This gives Daniel a backdoor 5-5 flush draw. Sauce goes ahead and checks his hand. Now Daniel's got a decision. He's laying in bed, he's got the laptop on his lap. Laptop on lap, makes sense. He's in the head, he's like, oh my god, okay, what am I gonna do? Oh my god, you don't know what he's gonna do. This is sometimes what happens, unfortunately, when you play PLO and you call any hand pre-flop to a 3-bet. You end up in some spots where you're just not sure what exactly you should be doing. In this spot, thought about this spot a lot. I think it could go both ways. I like betting slightly more than checking. They are deep. We do have the 6-7 with 7 in our hand. I'm not too worried about a check raise here in this spot. I would pretty much expect Sauce to just go ahead and bet a straight if he had it in his hand. Bet a 6-7, maybe check a 2-6 if he has 2-6, maybe check ace-2. But yeah, I don't really expect to get check raised too often in this situation in Daniel's spot. Obviously, if we get check raised in this spot, it does pretty much suck. He says he's not going to fold to a check raise. I'm not sure if I believe him, but I mean, he can make a diamond potentially on the river. Unfortunately, he might have some reverse implied odds on making a diamond on the river. And he can also potentially bluff a board pairing card, even though I don't think he can actually bluff a jack of pairs. So, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it. I don't want to make people mad out there because I get really deep into these hands sometimes. And people want me to die. So I understand, I get it. Want me to shut the fuck up and get over with the hand. So let's get over with the hand. So in this spot, I think I like betting just a bit more than checking. Fold out Sauce's equity. Pretty much a lot of turn cards, or river cards rather, are going to be pretty bad for us. So yeah, I just like betting a bit more than checking. But you can't go wrong with the other option. Let's see the river. So the river is a 6 of hearts. This gives Daniel the second nut straight. Sauce goes ahead. Tanks bet 6,000 into 14,000. So a little less than half pot. So now in this spot, I can understand where Sauce is coming from. He's trying to give himself a good price on his bluff. He thinks that in this spot, if Daniel doesn't have a 7 or doesn't have a 2 to make it straight, he's just going to fold. So I can definitely understand that thought process where he's coming from. When we think about Daniel's range, so what hands is he going to call the flop with and then check back with on the turn? I think it's going to have the 2 pairs in it. I think it's going to have some 5-2, 5-6, some hands with a 7 in it, maybe more hands with a 2 in it, but maybe even more than that, more hands that have a 6 in it. So what I mean by that is some type of 4-6 type hand. So we think, would Daniel, we don't really know if Daniel would be betting those hands in the turn. Some players would bet a hand like that in the turn. Some players are going to check back those hands in the turn. If Daniel has a set, he's probably going to check back in this spot too. So in this spot, Sauce is just basically hoping that Daniel has a 2-pair hand that he's just going to fold, and his hand does look like he's got some type of straight here in this spot when he does bet. So now Daniel says, oh my god, I hope he doesn't have 7-8. Daniel slow rolls him a little bit, and then he makes the call. He gets really excited. He can't believe what Sauce did to him.
Bro, not 7-8, whatever you do. Don't have 7-8. What are you doing? He's trying to bluff me. Actually, as it turned out, I made more money. Nice try, Sauce. Are you just trying to give all the 300,000 back now? 4,000 at a time? What was another?
And I think in a, when you look at this hand, you might say like, hey, what's happened in this hand? Why'd Sauce do that? But I think when you really think about it, when you think this is 8 game, there's going to be some weird stuff that happens sometimes. You're going to have an experienced Pot Limit Omaha player taking battle against a player who doesn't play that much, and he's just going to think that maybe he's just got this really big advantage against him post-flop, when in reality, he probably does. But unfortunately, it sometimes is going to lead to a spot like this, where the player with a lot of experience maybe overestimates some of his ability in spots like this, maybe gets a little bit out of line, and maybe he doesn't even realize it. I think Sauce probably realized it in this spot, but maybe we'll be able to get him on the podcast again, and we'll be able to ask him exactly what he's thinking in this situation. So that's going to do it for this episode of PLOker Hands. Make sure you check out my new Instagram page, instagram.com/poppygto, where I'll be updating Instagram from all my travels, from the grind, from poker, from videos, podcast, and everything else in between. So thank you for watching. Much love. I try to keep this one a bit shorter because I know people want me to die when I leave these about 15 minutes. So I try to keep this one a bit shorter. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought. Thank you very much.
She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge.